Hi, my name is Mark Stuyt. I am the Chief Engagement Officer at Neural Impact. Now, Neural Impact is an organization that works with technology companies to improve their marketing and their sales results based on a better understanding of the buying brain and the role of emotions in the buying process. Now, today I'm going to talk about changing buying behavior. Over the course of the last 5 to 6 years, we have seen a material change, a shift in how prospects engage with us and how they go about facilitating their buying process. And those have had material impacts on most partner organizations' results relative to sales and marketing. So increasingly, prospects today want to remain in control of their buying experience. We know this because they're remaining anonymous through the majority of their buying cycle. They're reluctant to engage in dialogue with sales professionals. They're self-educating, doing their own research, and then validating that research with third-party organizations or individuals within their own industry that have been down that path before. Now, one of the biggest changes I've seen has to do with consciousness. So I would argue over the last 5 to 6 years, the buying community has shifted from an abundance consciousness, an expectation that things would continue to get better, into more of a scarcity or a fear consciousness. And that's resulted in a significant increase in the number of no decisions that we see within the Microsoft ecosystem. There's a higher probability today that you're going to lose to no decision than you are, to be quite candid, to a competitor. Prospects are basically saying, I would rather hold on to my scarce working capital than invest it, in a risky technology project. So all of those things combined have fundamentally changed the profile of what the buyer community looks like. And what we're seeing rewarded out there in the marketplace, candidly, are partners that put together solution sets that are low risk, that address very, very specific industry challenges that are easy to say yes to. Now, these changes have had a material impact on when a prospect engages with a partner in their buying cycle. In the past, 9 times out of 10, marketing would generate a lead and then pass it off to sales. So the engagement point was pretty predictable. An organization would have some business challenge, and then they would look to the marketplace for some potential solutions, and then they raise their hand. And then we would have a period of time to influence them. Today, educated buyers are engaging with sales professionals somewhere between 50 and 65% of their way through the buying experience. It's radically changing the amount of time that we have to influence which solution they select. And on the flip side of that coin, we're also intercepting prospects early in their research stage. Well, how does that work? Well, organizations like yours have been spending a tremendous amount of money and energy over the last 10 years building out marketing content. We're moving from a world of outbound marketing to inbound marketing. And so those case studies and white papers and webcasts that you've put out there to draw people to you, well, it works. But we're intercepting people in many cases long before they actually have a real project. It's not funded, doesn't have a business sponsor. It's not a big enough business problem to solve yet. But today, we're taking all of those leads, suspects, prospects, whatever language you use, and we're funneling them into a sales organization. What I would encourage you to think about moving forward is to start to triage those leads to determine, is this an opportunity that is active, in which case we want to route it to a sales professional as quickly as we can, or is this an early stage research, and in which case we want to route it more to a nurture engine where we can have a high touch, low cost way of interacting with that prospect to keep us in their consciousness until the point comes where they're ready to raise their hand. So these changes, both in buying behavior and the engagement point, and ultimately in what is being demanded out there from the buying community, has material impacts on the partner organization. One, the sales organization is going to have to make some adjustments to realign their traditional selling motion with what I would argue is a radically accelerated buying experience. The marketing organization has to start to think about making some adjustments, to make sure you continue to be found in that research phase, but also to ensure that you continue to create really rich content for that nurture rhythm to keep that prospect engaged at a low cost. And the third area that partners will need to focus on, and arguably the more challenging of the three, is the delivery organization. So as I mentioned, prospects are looking for low-risk, industry-specific or workload-specific solution sets, and ideally that can be consumed on a monthly subscription basis and then of course available in the cloud. Right? So to the degree that we can modify our selling motion, make some adjustments to the selling motion or the marketing motion, and then of course make some adjustments to our service organization so that we can deliver these solution sets in a relatively low-risk way, then what you'll have done is realign your organization to completely map to a radically different buying experience.